Master of Ceremonies, our experience with rural workers was when we participated in the implementation of the tree program training of rural economic empowerment. That was around 2010. I think that's where Zimbabwe joined the region in implementing that program. So it was the time when organized labor had a feel on what is happening with the rural workers. The picture we had then from the organized labor was that skills development amongst the rural and urban youth. We are talking about ages ranging from 15 to 35 was the root cause of unemployment. Therefore, to us, the prerequisite skill was the reason why the majority of our people in the rural areas will spend most of their productive years dormant. Of course, we do have other experiences as individuals, as you are aware that the majority of the working women and men have a rural background. So we know of people in the rural areas who are either doing something or are not doing anything. A SNAP survey on the most of the colleges in Zimbabwe had revealed that their training did not meet the requirement of the industry, either because colleges were using training curriculum that was not been reviewed for the past decades, or that there was communication gap between the vocational training centers and the industries. So you would either have the vocational training centers producing people who are not productive, who cannot be productive as individuals, or who cannot be employed. As a way of addressing the challenge, and through research, Zimbabwe acknowledged and became part of the TREE project. And the TREE project was coordinated by ILO. The project lasted from 2010 to around 2015. This project registered successes, stories, but of course encountered some challenges which this conference would share and find the way forward. Who are these rural workers? Their challenges and what can be done to assist them. It's either these rural workers are school leavers, it's either they are dropouts from school, from colleges. These can be people who have been retrenched from formal jobs, and they had to migrate from the urban areas because they could not sustain the life in the urban areas. So they find themselves joining their roots at the rural areas. The previous skills for youth employment and rural development had two components in it. One is informal apprenticeship, and the other is the community-based technical and vocational skills development programs. That is found mostly in the rural areas. The majority of rural workers are engaged in their small activities, on-account work that can be family work, peri-urban and the resettlement farming. There are very few contract workers in the rural areas. No job security, no social security, no labor law to make reference to. It is the law of the jungle to those contracted to do certain tasks. So there is no protection to those people. There is need to focus on the decent work in the rural areas. In our view, ZCTU understands and believes that the rural empowerment is about empowering rural people by building capacities to exercise control over their lives. Therefore, we had hoped that the TREE program would emphasize the crucial role of skills and knowledge in creating new economic employment opportunities for the poor, the underemployed, unemployed, and the disadvantaged. As tripartite, business, government, labor, and other players, we have a job to do to resuscitate this economy. The economy is now informal. However, there are a lot of activities happening in the rural areas where no one is really focusing. I'm not sure about whether do we have any strategies to make sure that we focus in these areas beside these programs I have made reference to. Are we looking at how best can we tap in that rural economy? As a result of the question of decent work, it becomes a dream that we are going to have a decent work in the rural setups. As I previously indicated, that the rules don't apply. We believe as Labour that in order to empower and help the poor in the rural, the following must be done. We need to help to increase their ability to effectively use their knowledge and skills in the environment where they live. We need to provide them with additional skills and other support needed to increase incomes and productivity and to improve their conditions. We need to provide these communities with opportunities to contribute and to benefit from the collective action and to develop on their own. This might be also a way of encouraging decent work in the rural economy. If we go by our statistics in Zimbabwe here, 70% of the population is in the rural areas, and this means that more workers are faced with the serious decent work deficits in the rural areas. The bulk of the people engaged in many activities in the rural economy are women. If things are done correctly and transparently, and there is a potential for economic growth and employment creation in the rural economy. From our experience, the tree methodology had a positive impact that we did witness. However, we are not sure about its long-term benefits on sustainability unless periodic feedbacks are made to the beneficiaries. We are not sure what happened with those who were given small resources to start their businesses, those who were trained with the skill to run those businesses. Were they able to find the market for their products so that they are able to continue with their businesses even after we win them off? Master of Ceremony, it will be improper to only focus on the success stories. We also have to look at the challenges the program encountered. The program was not able to accommodate all those who applied for the skills development training because of the limited resources which were made available. It is very difficult to engage all the potential applicants. So there were other people who were not able to benefit from even they were available. This therefore presented with it some selection challenges as to who's supposed to benefit. There was also need to come up with clear selection criteria, Madam Chair, which will accommodate everyone despite their political and other affiliation. If you are unable, if it did not belong to a particular party and then you are out. If you are unable to do a particular slogan and then you are not able to benefit. And we did make that point clear to the evaluators that when we are focusing in this group of rural people, the issue of political affiliation became a very important aspect in our view. So you'll find that people were complaining that if I have to belong to a particular party for me to be a beneficiary. In conclusion, Master of Ceremony, Organized Labour would like to thank the partners who committed their technical and financial support towards successful implementation of this knowledge sharing and the learning event. I thank you.
Kana muchida kuvewo kutanga kunzwa nyaya dzakadai mazuva ese, garai makateya pa YouTube nekuklika button rakanzi subscribe. Munobva maita wokutanga pa ZimdiTv News kunzwa zviri kuitika.